But the fans have been very kind and very patient because they understand that we're an operating school. This is what we do. We teach kids, and they understand that we gotta not disrupt the learning environment too much.
We get mail actually for the Cullens, especially Bella. This began in 2006 and 2007. Bella has been, for some reason, people send this mail to the Chamber of Commerce Visitor Center here. One of the pieces of mail was from Seattle, and it was inviting Bella to become a Miss Teen Seattle. She's been invited to join mystery book clubs and other book clubs. She also got something that's a warranty for a Volvo, which actually should have come to Edward because he's the one that owns the Volvo. So, and then she actually got a love letter from a guy by the name of Samuel from Ghana, West Africa. And the letter begins, "My sweet concubine, I missed you so much." And we have all this mail here for people to read, for visitors to come in, and they can read Bella and Edward's mail. And every now and then we get something for Alice or Jasper or any of them. So we have all those in a binder that people can actually read. So it's pretty amazing.
We get a lot of emails and a lot of letters written to us from students from all over the world. And so what we've done is we funnel them all to the ASB class, and the ASB class will take them and write letters back and say, hey, this is us, and we're normal kids too, and no, we don't have vampires in class. And
no, there's actually not any vampires or werewolves in La Push, and no vampires in our school or town. Just typical, normal high school, everyday kids.
We receive quite a few funny emails too from some fans. For example, we'll get some anonymous Yahoo or some other Gmail email account that'll contact us in and say, would you please excuse Edward, he's not feeling well today. We'll have them say, this is Dr. Cullen, would you please, I'm upset at Edward's B+ that he received on his algebra test or whatever it is. So we receive some of those funny emails, and we save those, and we put them in the visitor booklet so when visitors come by they can actually see some of that. It's kind of funny.
Well, the beginning of the school year this year, I did get an email asking me to separate Bella and Edward in class because he was having a hard time resisting his impulses, I guess. So that was kind of funny.
We actually page Bella once in a while and have her go back to sporting goods to go to work, so just as kind of a fun thing.
Bella Swan, can you come to the sporting goods department, please? Bella Swan to the sporting goods.
Dave, our store manager, kind of started doing it, but it was basically Bella to sporting goods, please. And you have a whole room full of her. Your Twilight Zone is full of Twilight people, and everybody perks up, and people run to sporting goods or whatever to find Bella. So it's been fun.
I've already been scoping out houses for sale. We might sell our home and move.
Some people that we are aware of have actually moved to Forks because of reading the books.
My family and I were living in Los Angeles, population 6 million. Then we moved to Las Vegas, 2 million, getting closer. Then my wife picked up a book called Twilight, and it was all over. Fell in love with the books, consumed all the sequels, decided that we were going to come out and visit. Came out here, it was beautiful, the people were awesome. This was in mid-May, the heat of the Vegas summer was looming in the not-too-distant future, and we're like, what do you think, what do you think? And we just came. We didn't know anybody out here, and, pros and cons, obviously, but the cons are like the grocery store closes at 10, and the good things heavily outweigh the negative. Just waking up every day, it's beautiful here. We love it. The kids love it. On the way out, my son was like, Forks, Washington is a small town. I couldn't drag him away. He's in love with it, and as we all are. It's wonderful.
I mean, I think Stephanie Meyer has done Forks a great service as far as, our economy and something to be excited about, and that's been great, and I'm so glad she did that.
When the Twilight book came out, I think the first notice we heard of it was an article in one of the Seattle newspapers talking about the new books that were coming out, and that this one would be of particular interest because it was set in Forks. I believe that was in December a few years ago. And I think that same December we had a father-daughter from Arizona come and stay with us, and the daughter asked us where Forks High School was and Forks Hospital, and I believe that was our first exposure to a Twilight fan that wanted to know where these places were that were mentioned in the book. And pretty soon it was, well, we're having about 100 people a day stop by the visitor center, and you know, some of them would really like a tour. The chamber board said, well, we have this van that we use for our logging tours in the summer, so we asked the director and the visitor center manager to put together a tour. So after one of our chamber meetings, we all hopped into the van, and the visitor center manager, Mike Gerling, took us on the very first Twilight tour.
My boss, Annette Root, came from Vancouver, Washington. She came down to Forks as a fan and didn't see what she was looking for. And about 3 weeks later, she opened the store.
She did that in November of 2008. She opened up a shop that's called Dazzled by Twilight.
Started out slow, a couple of tables, a couple of items, and grew and kind of outgrew the location.
And she's been so successful in that store here in Forks that she recently opened up a second Dazzled by Twilight store in Port Angeles.
We took over the tours on March 1st of 2009. And from the Chamber of Commerce here in Forks, and it's been a blast. It's been a great time.
We have a full day's activities just going to visit the various sites, which are in and around town and easily accessible.
First and foremost, a book-based tour here in Forks. We stand by Stephanie's words. We stay loyal to Stephanie's descriptions, and it's a lot of fun.
Seatbelts are supposed to be worn, even though we're going to be taking them off in about 45 seconds. Are we ready to go back there? Yes, sir. Okay. Welcome aboard. My name is Travis. This is Carl. Welcome to the tour. Real quick question. Do we have any Jacob fans on board? Jacob fans. Crickets and pin drops. Very good. Oh, yeah? Okay, very good. Sometimes I get booed when I ask that question, so the reason why I ask, okay, we'll be seeing some good Jacob stuff on the other side of the treaty line. I want to take you to a very important Twilight-related street to start off. Very easy street to remember. It travels through our only traffic light in town, East Division. It's going to take us by Charlie Swan's work, the police station, of course, as well as Edwards Place, the Cullen House. Now, we'll see where Bella and Charlie live a little bit later, but first, I want to take you by Charlie Swan's work.
People come to City Hall, we'll hand out pens or stickers or something like that so that we have an opportunity, they have an opportunity to take something away with them. I've had several people ask me to sign their books in behalf of Charlie Swan, so I'm happy to do that.
And check out Edwards Place. Of course, it's the Miller Tree Inn Bed and Breakfast, which is just a front. We know it's the Cullen House, just the resident innkeepers that take care of it for the Cullens, who have to maintain a low profile here in a small town.
We stopped at City Hall, and we kept coming down the road, and they pulled into the driveway here, and I said, oh, is the tour over, or are you dropping me off? And they said, no, we thought that you would be the Cullen House. In the book, it's described as about 100-year-old white 3-story house with a wraparound porch. And though the setting isn't right, you're not across the river in a forest of trees down a gravel road. The house itself matches the description, and would you mind being on the tour?
And we have full permission from Asme and the Cullens to step out onto the porch. If you look, well, we can't actually go inside, but pretty close we can take pictures through the windows, so pretty close. I'd like you to look through the big windows to the right of the front door.